All right, guys, morning. Just got here to Raw, about to show you what a typical client check-in looks like. My boy Sean here was nice enough to agree to let me get all this on film, and then after that I'm gonna run him through a training session. Right now in here we're gonna be getting his measurements and then his body fat done by calipers. I do a 9-site, so we'll get them all measured up, get that in my computer, and then we'll get on with this training session. Sean's been training with me for probably about, how long, like 6, 7 months? 8 months now. And we're getting him ready for his first physique show. He's gonna be doing the John Sherman and then probably the Texas State after that. But yeah, came to me, told me his goals, and put about 25 pounds on him in 8 months. Kept his body fat right where it was when he started. Coming to the end of this little off-season gaining phase. I'm about to get him on his pre-contest diet here in a couple weeks. So I'm getting a starting point with the skin folds and the measurements, and then we'll get on with it. So let's do your measurements first. Stand up. Can't ask for better symmetry than that. Most awkward measurement we do, the hips. Not only do I have to find the biggest part of his ass, we're right across the front of him in a very awkward position. And Sean's actually, he's doing a physique show this year, but we definitely started this with the end goal of getting him up on stage for classic physique, and not only up on stage, but to win, because we don't do anything but that. There's no point if we're not doing it to win. Yeah, flexed. It's nice getting to do this to someone else every once in a while, because I always feel like cattle when it gets done for myself. And like cattle at the auction, getting poked and prodded and shit. Right where we want to be. Let's go do this. Go to the locker room, shoes off, everything out of your pockets, and get a body weight and come back, and then give you a percentage, and we'll get to it. Drink your pre if you haven't drank it already. So, y'all have heard me say this, like when I've been in Keith's office, you know, like every body fat estimator, I'm not going to say calculation because they all really are just, you know, like estimates, but they all have their ups and downs and pitfalls. I like the skin folds for the reason that I said, you know, if it's the same person doing it every time, in my case with my clients, that's me. In my case with Keith, you have the same person doing it every time in the same manner, it's going to give you an accurate relative change. So, you know, that really helps in terms of getting him ready or getting myself ready for the diet, you know. Make adjustments to the diet, see what the skin folds do. That way we're not just kind of shooting in the dark and hoping we're, you know, like running a big enough deficit or whatnot. Because, you know, like especially in contest dieting, like pre-contest, obviously the goal is to preserve as much muscle tissue as possible while losing the fat as quickly and easily as possible. So having this as a tool to do that allows me to really kind of fine-tune the diet a lot more than it would be just me getting like check-in pictures from someone on the internet. So really try to, people that I contest prep, I try to make sure I can see them in person, even if it's only once every 2 weeks, just so I can do stuff like this with them. So he's gonna get me a body weight, we're gonna get his body fat percentage done, and then we're gonna get to a workout with him. He's training chest and triceps today, so that'll be a good one. 14.8. So, right where we want to be.
Not too bad.
What'd you weigh when we started?
182.
So, 8 months ago when we started, he was 182 at 14%. Today, he is 216 at 14.8. So, quite a bit of weight gain with a little more than half a percentage of body fat. So, can't ask for much more than that. Sitting in a real good spot, and like I said, we're about to get him finished out with this little off-season phase and into his pre-contest diet, but we're about to go train chest, right?
Let's get after it.
Chest and tries?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Sean's definitely one of those people that makes my job fun and easy. And one of those people that came and said, I want to do this and I'll do whatever it takes to do it. And I hear that a lot from people, but you know, a couple weeks into it, I was like, okay. He's the kind of guy, if I eat 8 ounces of shit on his meal plan, he'd do it. So it's been really good, and obviously, you know, like whenever you have the mindset he has to, I'm gonna do this and I'll do whatever it takes, you know, you get the results as you've seen with the amount of weight he's put on in that time. So very excited to see what he looks like getting him up on stage. See his hard work pay off for him. Obviously every client's different. I have a lot of clients that don't want to compete, never want to compete, just want to do it for general health, and obviously I'll train them a little different than I train someone like Sean. Y'all see, like, going through this workout, I do a lot of the same things that I do for myself for him, because main goal of his training obviously right now is hypertrophy, or just muscle gain. You know, being strong is nice, you know, endurance is nice, but that's not the goal of his training. The goal of his training is as much muscle as possible, as quick as possible. So it's also my goal. So you're gonna see a lot of similarities in what I do with him and what I do with myself. Sean's actually a personal trainer as well. What gym is it, Sean?
Fit Athletic River Oaks.
Yeah, Fit Athletic in River Oaks. So he trains people down there. He actually, it's the same gym that Aaron Moore, which is a little Team Labrada athlete, works at as well. So, you know, if you're downtown and don't feel like making the drive out to me, definitely go check that gym out. A couple great trainers there, Sean and Aaron being two of them. So keep that in mind. Finish strong, finish strong. Last one, best one. Up, there you go. The power of the mind. It's funny, I'm just as guilty as anyone else about this, but you know, like the second your spotter like even touches it, it's just like, whomp. And you get off and like, you helped me? And I was like, no, I didn't. Two. Yeah, so definitely use a lot of bands. For, obviously you've seen me use them a lot, definitely use them a lot for my clients too, especially the ones that I'm trying to put some muscle on. I feel like it's a great tool, you know, great safety tool, because when you're in the hole, you know, the band's completely relaxed almost and there's not a ton of pressure on your shoulders, and as you press, that resistance really rolls on from the band, keeps tension through the whole motion, and then, you know, on presses especially, you know, like that last little bit that's normally the easiest bit just to kind of lock out becomes one of the hardest parts of the motion because that band's getting fully stretched at the top of the rep. So definitely a big fan of band work. I know he's gotten his own and uses them for his clients now too. So if you haven't tried them, give them a try. It's a public service announcement to everyone out there. Be coachable. Never feel like you know too much. Second, you feel like you know it all. Second, you don't know anything. The reason I said that is just watching him, you know, like everything he's doing is like perfectly spot on with the form that I've taught him. And, you know, it's one of those things, like I still train with people that I consider to know way more than me. I'm still out there, you know, scouring Instagram and the internet and this and that, you know, just trying to teach myself and learn as much as possible. So never feel like you know it all, never feel like your way is the best way, always be open to stuff. That's definitely something that that I've kept an open mind to from the get-go, and it's something that really has served me very well, just learning from everyone that I can. So, end of public service announcement. You know, touching on pace, I've told you all kind of how I like to train quick, you know, like maybe 60 seconds of rest in between sets or long enough for your training partner to go. We got started at 10:15, it's 10:45 now, so it's been 30 minutes. He's about to do his 14th set of chest, and 6 of those sets have been supersets. So he's humping it, he's getting the results from it. I hump it when I train, I get the results from it. Should never be working out for 2 hours. I don't care how hard you train or how strong you think you are or anything like that. If you go into the gym, handle business, and you're taking all your sets close to or to failure like you should be if you're trying to put on muscle, there's no way that you can be doing it for longer than an hour and a half. So, at least that's my opinion, but what do I know? What do I know? Eight. Come on, push. Get it. Yep. Last rep. And that's the wrap for chest. So like I said, Sean's competing in men's physique, so kind of tailored his program to you know, like be in line with that. So on his chest days, in between chest and tris, we'll knock out 6 sets of laterals. And then on his shoulder day, in between shoulders and triceps, because I have him training both parts of his arm twice a week, he'll do 6 sets of flies. So essentially he's training his shoulders and his chest twice a week, because men's physique, it's all about those big cap shoulders and having that V taper and tight waist. So he's about to get those laterals in, and then we're gonna get on with triceps. I'm gonna let him get started on these, and then I'm gonna go get some supercharge in me, because right when we finish up, me and Brian are gonna be getting after chest and tries, I'm thinking about him. We're gonna be getting after shoulders and tries, so we get some supercharge in my stomach, let that percolate while we finish up with him, and then me and Brian are gonna get to it. So I'll be right back. Yeah, so people like Sean are the people that make my job truly fun and truly enjoyable, because I'm not one of those personal trainers that enjoys being someone's psychologist for an hour. I enjoy, you know, like someone sitting down with me saying, this is what I want to do, this is what I want to do it by, and I want you to show me how. And, you know, like a lot of people I'll show how, and, you know, like, well, have you been good with your diet? Well, I've been pretty good. Or, have you been training hard? Well, I missed a couple days last week, you know. So people like him, you know, kind of like I said, he would do anything I told him to without asking about it. So those are the people that make it fun to come to work. And then, you know, like the most rewarding part, you know, is like getting pictures and texts from him like, dude, I'm 20 pounds up, dude, I'm 25 pounds up. You know, you know, like when he first started with me, you know, like he's pressing as a warm-up, you know, like what was a hard set of 8 for him when we first started. So it's cool seeing people develop like that. I got a couple people like him that really, you know, like come here and get shit done and work hard when they come. So that's what makes my job fun. That's what I enjoy doing. So cheers. I've told you this before. It's easy to not be stressed when you know you've left no stone unturned for 14 weeks. Can't be better than your best, and I know that's what I'm gonna come with. So chips are gonna fall where they may fall. Next Jay Cutler might show up and smoke me, who knows? I'm not planning on that happening, but all I can do is show up at my best, and that's what I'm gonna do. With pretty form too. Notice how he's not like jerking anything around or throwing anything around. And like all the exercises for chest and shoulders, and then when he does triceps, you'll see, you know, like the same way that I do things. Everything's controlled, everything's very calculated, you know, tension's kept on the muscle, there's no jerking, there's no flopping. So, doing things right and getting the results is the result. So it's a running joke with Sean and I about what we call these. We call these Wolverines. Let me explain why. For those of you that have seen Wolverine, you remember the scene where he's in like the tub of stuff and got his surgery done and shot up full of adamantium and then stands up and he's like, so it's the same motion. It makes sense to us, right? In all seriousness though, y'all have seen me do these quite a few workouts. It really is one of my favorite tricep exercises to start with. Just, you know, like from the contraction you're able to get and the fact that you're pulling both back and out. That, and then I get a really good, you know, like mind-muscle connection going with this exercise. So showed them to him, he loves them just as much as I do, so we'll start with these a lot of times and then we'll vary it from here. Yeah, so for those of y'all who haven't seen, Sean's modeling the latest and greatest new Labrada shirt. Got the military green with the distressed logos and then the American flag on the shoulder, so really pumped about these shirts. They'll be up for sale soon. I'd be lying to you if I said I wasn't really pumped about them, because I had a large hand in getting them actually done. So it's like a brainchild, right? Like, no, Hunter, it's just a t-shirt. That's a wrap for him. He's gonna hit 3 sets of some overhead real quick. About to go grab my gym bag, and Brian and I are gonna get to it. On a little bit of a time crunch today, because after we get done training, gonna head downtown, and both of us have our check-ins with Keith Klein. So looking forward to that. It's been 2 weeks since I've been there, and it's been even longer since y'all have had a little view into that. So looking forward to it. I'll be right back out here. All right, guys, so got Sean sent on his way. Me and Brian are gonna get started with shoulders. I'm gonna start with rear delts today. So first exercise we're gonna be hitting is a seated face pull. play around with the hand positioning, you know, like a lot of people just like to do them like this. I've actually in the past done them like this, so I'm really having to pull the rope apart, but here recently, my favorite way to do these has been splitting the rope like right down the center of my hands like that. Gets a good stretch, then keeps my hands in line. How I like to do these. So I get the best feel from doing them this way. As with everything in life though, find out what works best for you. Signs that prep is real. Weights that normally leave us completely planted are starting to pull us out of the chair. Definitely something to keep in mind. Something I get asked about is like what rep range I like to do for shoulders. Make this really easy from like here over. So shoulders, biceps, and triceps. I've been getting the best results and have been doing for a while, you know, like 12 to 15. Sometimes even up to 20, but definitely try and keep it above 10 for shoulders and arms. So knocked out those 4 sets of face pulls, seated face pulls. Moving on, we're gonna do a Pec Deck rear fly, rear delt fly, straight into a banded face pull. Been doing this superset a lot. That band right after that really gets a lot of blood in there and really, you know, like just finishes it off, good contraction with it. So really enjoy this combo right here. Oh, haven't said this yet. Today's high carb day. That's why I'm so witty and funny right now and on my game. I'm just kidding. But yeah, so today's high carb day. We're actually running like a full-blown test peak, so exactly what I'll be doing for the Friday before the show. It's nice this year. There's no way I'm gonna make heavies. I'm still waking up 236, so don't have to worry about making weight or restricting water or food the day of the weigh-in to make sure I make weight. So that's nice and different from last year. So looking forward to that. But yeah, honestly, man, all things considered, I am feeling really good. You know, it's tough on days that are the low carb days, you know, like training, then doing the cardio. After the cardio is done, I feel like a useless pile of human being, but that's to be expected right now. It could be so much worse. So I feel like I'm in a good spot, definitely a good place mentally and physically. So really happy. Move on to some standing side laterals. Probably do about 4 sets there. Then move on to a seated barbell military. So we can get after that. As I get closer to the show, something I really like doing for shoulders is what you just saw, how knock out as many as I can with perfect form, and then do the little pulses at the bottom. Really, you know, just driving past the point of failure, obviously, and then forces as much blood as possible in there. Right now, you know, you're not putting on muscle. It's all about preserving as much muscle as you can while dieting, and then bringing out as much detail as possible. So I feel things like that lend themselves to doing so. So that's why we're doing it like that. Knocked out those 4 sets of side laterals. Last set we did a triple drop. Moving on to some seated barbell military. Probably do 4 sets here and then finish up with some cable side laterals and then hit triceps. So, I know I said this a couple weeks ago, but I obviously signed my contract with Gasp and knew the clothes were badass before I signed with them, but really pleasant surprise has been the lifting accessories, like the wrist wraps. Was really surprised by how nice they are. You know, like honestly, I'd be using them if I wasn't sponsored by them. Like if someone let me try them, I'd get these to replace what I was using. So that was cool, added bonus. Finished up shoulders with those cable side laterals. Got started with triceps. We hit 4 sets of just normal rope pull downs. moving on, we're gonna do a superset, bodyweight superset. So we basically make bodyweight skull crushers into bodyweight close grip bench press. So I'll show you what that looks like. Hit that for 3 sets and then finish up with the cables. That's a wrap. All right, so we're about to get our post-workout shakes in us and get changed and cleaned up and head on over to Keith. So we'll meet you over at Keith's. We'll see y'all there. Hey guys, just got here, running a little bit behind due to the lovely Houston traffic. So we're about to head back in here to Keith's Institute of Eating Management, see where we're sitting at 2 weeks out. Looking forward to this, hopefully get a good report card, and yeah, so follow me on back and we'll see what's going on.
And what we did is we did a new test peek on you, and I kind of want to collect the feedback on what you noticed after you did that. In the past, when we had your up day with the red meat, you looked better.
Yeah.
When we did 2 up days with the red meat, you felt like you looked your best. You looked really good on Sunday. You were tighter and fuller. Okay. Then we did a peak with Berkey and steak, and we did a Thursday and a Friday. Was that an up day we did on Thursday?
We didn't do an up day Thursday. So last Friday was the first like real test run in my opinion, and it was the 2 cups of oats instead of 1 2/3 in the morning, and then 12 instead of 9 ounces for the next 4 meals, and then the 1 3/4 instead of the 1 2/3 for bedtime. And obviously we cut the sodium back by about 50%, and then woke up the next morning, and you know, it was one of those things like Lee looked at me and said, I'd be comfortable with you getting sprayed and getting on stage today. So
out of all the
that
test
was last
peaks
weekend
we've
at
run,
3 weeks out, so that was good.
All of the test peaks we've run so far, that last one we did was the best. You feel like you feel confident if we do that for the show, it's going to work?
Yeah, and we'll do it again, obviously, like I'm doing it right now today, so we'll see what it looks like tomorrow morning. So if it looks the same, then we know we found a replicatable one as well. And
when we upped that food, we did that on Friday, and you looked your best on Saturday, now 2 days later? Okay. And right now, are you in the midst of the up day?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
You're 12 ounces of carbs?
2 meals into it, yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, well, I'm going to get you measured first. I told you last time, I don't think I can measure you any leaner except for on your shoulder blade. There was only 2, and maybe your kidney. We've gotten that down to a 3 before. And so let's go ahead and get your measurements on and see where you're at. Man, we barely changed your weight at all this entire time. Go ahead and step back. Go ahead and take your shirt off. Okay. Go ahead and flex your midsection. Nice. This is looking really, really sharp on that. Good for you. All right. Can you turn sideways for me here? Just relax. All right. Look down at this with me. This one was a 4 last time, which was as lean as we've ever gotten it before. So that may just be skin. We've never gotten a 3 on there before. Alrighty, turn around for me. Sweet. That was a 7 last time. We got it down to a 6 today. It's been as low as a 5. Okay. Wow, that hit a 3. That's back to the lowest it's ever been. Come back on your right toe. Okay, turn and face me. Go ahead and roll that up as high as it goes and flex your thigh for me. Yeah, you're looking better every time I see you, man. Relax. Okay. All right, my friend. We got those 2 that could drop. The only one that's not back to the lowest ever, which is this one right here, it's 1 away. Okay. However, some of these are better than they've ever been before, I think, right? So let's run through it and see what we got. You are exactly where you were the week of your show, and you're 2 weeks out. So at that percentage of body fat, but you weigh a lot more. Back then you were 228, now you're 235 3/4. Wow. Right now you went from 2.43 to 2.16. I don't know that I've ever measured you. I don't even know that I can measure you lower. If that one drops to a 1, I'm not sure it'll change the formula that much, but you've never been measured this low, particularly at this weight. Good job. Fantastic. All right, so I've got the notes on that. And then what you're doing is replicating the last one with this. So we have it that we know for sure that's going to work for the show. That's good by me.
Cool.
I'm not going any lower in food. And how many days a week are you getting cardio in?
Doing cardio 4 days a week.
How many minutes?
I've been doing 20 minutes of intervals with then 5 minutes of steady state after, so 25 minutes.
Good for you. All right. I think you're ready, man. I think you're really ready. You're only going to get sharper. We haven't even manipulated sodium or water, and that's all going to bring it together. When you did this peak, did you train the next day in the morning to pump up and see how you came?
Saturday morning, like before I sent those pictures, it was on breakfast, and then, you know, like literally like under 10 minutes of just pumping my upper body. Took the pictures, did everything, ate again after that, and then went and trained hamstrings and calves. Okay,
so what the picture I saw you in, you were pumped up.
Yes.
Right? And do you feel like you have more clarity before you pump up? Do you lose some clarity when you pump up?
No. Okay. Not as long as I don't over pump. Like I said, honestly, the only thing I really do to pump is I'll do some push-ups for my chest and triceps and some side laterals, and then like a couple pulls. But other than that, I really just get my pump from just posing. I'll pose a lot before I go on, and
that's smart.
It keeps me full, and but doesn't blow out my detail, because I definitely like do like training and stuff, like by the end of it, like I'm so pumped I lost all my details.
Exactly. So what he's essentially saying is that a lot of kids, when they get ready for a show, they try to mimic the pump they do in the gym, and what ends up happening is they lose all their clarity, and then they don't win the show. They actually look smoother. And what he's saying is by not over pumping, he maintains his detail but fills up the muscle a little bit and actually looks a lot better. It's a good plan. All right, so I feel like we have your peaking, man. I think I know what to do. All right, you feel pretty confident in it?
Yep.
Okay, man.
Yeah, so I'm gonna get out of here. I gotta get back to the gym to do clients, but
okay. Good job, brother. You're on the track,
appreciate
man.
it.
Looks great. All right.
I'll see you the week of the show, correct?
You will. All right, pal. See you later.
Have a good one. At the level that we do it and greater, it really is chemistry. It is knowing your body's chemistry, how it reacts to all the different factors that are going on. And you know, like my dad will tell you this, the first, you know, like 14, 16 weeks of the diet, however long you diet for, that's the science part of it. And then, you know, like the last week or two is the art, you know, getting your water where it's supposed to be, hitting your peak consistently, you know, like truly learning how your body reacts to everything. So it's not one of those things, you know, it's one of those things like why you want to learn your own body instead of just relying on a coach completely, just because, you know, you bounce from coach to coach. Each coach takes time to figure out how you're going to react to things. You know your body, you know what it does when you introduce factors X, Y, and Z. You know, you're a lot more likely to be able to hit your peak every time. And you know, the truly great bodybuilders, you know, like look at Phil Heath, every single year he comes in shredded to the bone. You know what he looks like. He's found a way to replicate his peak over and over and over again, and every year he adds a little bit more muscle, he's a little bigger, a little sharper, and that's what it takes to be a elite level bodybuilder, is to be able to consistently hit your peak, consistently get yourself that lean, and not, you know, like, oh, well, I did it for this show, but messed up royally for this one, and, you know, it's pretty good for this one. No, you gotta get to the point where every single time you know exactly what's gonna happen. So that's what I'm trying to get to. Like I've said before, this is only my second prep, ever. So looking forward to getting another one under my belt. But anyways, we're about to head back towards our side of town. Had a great check-in today. Brian had a great check-in. So, you know, everything's going really good for the group right now. We're in a good mind state. Really excited for the next 2 weeks. Gonna keep my head down, keep on working, and leave it all out there and make shit happen. So I'll see y'all for I'll see y'all tomorrow. We're gonna be going to the American Fit Expo, so we'll have a lot of good content there. Me and Lee and Pat and Brian will all be rolling up there, and be doing a little bit of posing practice in the morning too. So I'll catch up with y'all at the house in the morning. See ya. Hey guys, just got here to the American Fitness Expo at the NRG Center. About to head inside and see what's up and then head to the booth. So, see y'all in there. Hey, ready? Got another Aggie in the building?
Oh yeah, we're everywhere in Houston. Dig 'em.
So, sitting here at the expo, stumbled into Sean. I guess he survived yesterday. No worse for the wear.